Happy Friday. Welcome back to another Fridays 45. Thanks to all that tuned in last week. The answer to last week's question is Boogie Nights. God Only Knows was in that, as well as Love Actually. We're going to move on this week to a hit that's almost 60 years old. Came out in the summer of, late summer of 1965. And I'm talking about Rescue Me. Rescue Me by Fontella Bass. She was a gospel singer out of St. Louis. Her family's got a background in singing, and she went up to Chess Records and recorded this one day. They were kind of in the studio messing around, and this is what came out from it. It was written by Carl Smith and Raynard Miner, but there's actually some. She claims that she was told that she was going to get some of the royalties for being a part of the writing team, and she was never given credit, which is a shame, because it is a solid song, and there are some great cover songs of this song out there. Like I said, in 1965, it reached number 4 on the Billboard and number 1 on the R&B charts. Both Phil and Leonard Chess started the company in 1950, and they created Checker Records as a subsidiary to Chess Records because they wanted to get more of their songs on the radio. And so that's how they did it, because the radio stations back then would only play a certain amount of labels of records, so they wanted to get more on a different label so they could get more of their songs played, which is I find kind of interesting. I've got another copy of this, and this copy I think it's a reprint. It's on Repeat Gold Nuggets Records. It's the same song, but just I think it's one of those later prints where you could get two A-side songs on one record. It's not in the. I don't think it's in the right sleeve, but yeah, it's interesting that I have 2 copies, and one is kind of a no-name label, and then I got the Checker label here. What kind of persuaded me to do this week is I was out in Bloomington a couple weeks ago, shopping at a record store on the square, and I ran across this song by Dee Dee Warwick. And Dee Dee Warwick does a great cover of Elvis's song Suspicious Minds, but she also does a cover of Rescue Me. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more soulful. This was recorded in 1983. It was interesting when I went to look for it on Discogs. There's not a whole lot about it. There's only one that's been sold on the whole site for $17, and another guy's trying to sell one for like $100. So I don't know. I just find it must be kind of a rare print of a copy of Dee Dee Warwick singing Rescue Me on a single. But if you know much about Dee Dee Warwick, she is the sister of Dionne Warwick and cousin to Whitney Houston. So definitely a musical family there. Just a solid song, great beat, great instruments. If you let Pat Benatar's got a cover as well. It's more of a rocking cover, but it definitely each cover that you listen to has different, just great instruments in them to listen to. Just a great beat to follow. My question to you this week is, this song is in a Mel Gibson movie. I want to know, what Mel Gibson movie is this song in? Not the one by Dee Dee, but the one by Fontella Bass. Where would you find this song? What movie? The last thing I want to say is I found interesting on this label is the writers of this song were actually Carl Smith and Raynard Miner, but they misspelled Raynard's name right there, and they also called him Mines, which I think is interesting. So it's kind of I don't know if it was just a misprint, not overlooked, but definitely an interesting thing I noticed about that record. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on the flip side.